Hey guys, this is day 121 of startup. So this was another day at Antler, and I noticed something that has been bothering me. So finding a startup idea used to be hard. Most of the things you could think of were already done, already taken, and the things that were not taken and you could think of used to be very weird. So if I used to go to any startup event, then most of the people will be actually working on these weird ideas. But now it seems everybody has like the right kind of idea. And interestingly, all of these ideas follow one general formula. And the formula is pick up any domain like finance, real estate, law, see where is the knowledge part where people search for things, query, ask questions, or some kind of a text based response, and just say this will be all automated by a fine tuned large language model. And it's very hard to argue with this use case. It does make sense. It's similar use cases have come up in all kinds of fields, and just seems like you apply this formula and you have a ready-made idea. I've never seen things so easy for entrepreneurs. Now this bothers me because my idea came from a different principle, and the principle I followed was like I really tried to choose my domain based on my expertise and interest, and I tried to find a problem that I could personally connect with. I had the same problem, so I can deeply understand it, and then I focused on the problem to find the solution, and I iterated without implementing anything mentally, as in terms of thought experiment, different kinds of solutions, discuss it with people, and finally simplified my solution to a form which actually does not really use AI for its core value proposition. It can be enhanced by AI, but it doesn't need AI at its core. While but now as I'm trying to implement it, as a second phase, I'm running into obstacles both on the product side where some of the things I'm not able to implement, and on the reception or the sales side where there are objections, and it seems like a hard battle to really put it into the hands of the customer and get money for it. Now, interestingly, today also I pitched my idea to a lot of founders, and all of them agreed to the problem strongly, and could also found the solution to be interesting. But still, it's I think a long way from anyone to buy. Part of it actually is also the product is not mature. But overall, yeah, in summary, what I'm trying to say is like, since I'm having all of these problems and these people are having such clear concise ideas which seem to like unlock massive value for the customers and customers, I'm really starting to think, did I really choose a bad idea? Should I also just try to follow that same formula and just pick up all different kinds of domains instead of just focusing on sales tech, and see where LLMs have not already reached, and just put LLM there and I have a ready-made idea like that, just like that. At the same time, I know I cannot change my idea at this stage. I need to run the idea through a full circle before I quit it, because there's a thing to be, of course there's a thing about finding a better opportunity, but there's also a thing about not going deep into anything because of this habit of quitting. So I'm in a difficult situation here. But I also have another thing constantly in mind, like, is it really this easy to find a startup idea right now, or is it all a mirage, an illusion? Because all of these founders are at much early stage. I went through this whole phase of selecting an idea for 2 months and considered a lot of different angles. For me, this simple formula did not work. One of the reasons was also because I was looking inside only the sales technology domain, and this domain is particularly very crowded and very narrow in terms of kind of problems to solve, compared to maybe finance domain where there are hundreds of different types of companies, different types of customers, which will need different kind of solutions. So part of the problem was that domain was very specific, but if I just ignore that part, if I just assume that all domains will ultimately turn out to be same, then for me, I saw that either these ideas using LLM were too vague, like it was not too obvious how to solve this particular use case with LLM, which has a certain error rate, or they were already taken. So although AI is very new, but most of these obvious low hanging fruits seem to be taken at least in the sales tech domain, and not just taken, they used to be taken by thousands of people. And third was like, even in these categories you would say that I can do better than others, but there used to be, like when I was researching, there was absolutely no way how we could make our solution better than the other people's solution, because most of the core components were handled by the APIs of OpenAI. So what I'm really interested now and curious to see, and it will be a huge learning for me, is to just wait and see this as a massive experiment of 70 founders in Antler, and see what how is their journey in next 2 to 3 months. And yeah, if it turns out that their journey is much simpler than mine, then maybe I can rethink my position and just have a more horizontal kind of approach, that where I choose my solution as LLM, as a large language model, and just try to find where does it fit. So I started not with a solution which is in search of a problem, but I started with this problem and come up with a solution independently. But then this is having problems. At the same time, I know every idea, theoretically I know that every idea goes through problem phases, and it's just that the grass is looking greener on the other side. So let's see.